All right, should you write an ebook or should you create an online course? Which is more profitable? I'm going to answer this in this video. All right, so if you're trying to make some money online or you're trying to build a business online, selling digital products, info products, that kind of thing, you're probably wondering, should I go with ebooks or should I go with online courses or maybe some other form? And if you're trying to figure out which one is more profitable, I'm going to share with you some of these thoughts in this episode. Now, if you don't know the types of courses I've made over the years, you can go ahead and check out the website backstageincome.com. And you can see I do have quite a handful of different courses there set up. And I've done quite a lot of courses on trading and investing as well. If you go in and just take a look at all the courses there. So for me, when I've went in and wrote books and done courses, I found that courses to be more profitable for me personally rather than ebooks. And if you want to take a look at just the books that I have as well, you can go into the book section and just check it out. And the reason for that is because it really comes down to what you have. And here's what I mean. Is the breakdown comes down to your assets and resources for your business. An ebook, let's just say you sell it for $10. If you take 3,000 sales, your profit, or let's just say your sales amount is going to be $30,000. Now, what you could do is take a course, a $300 course, because now you're able to sell it for more money because typically the value of it is just more prestige. And with that, because it's just typically found to be more valuable, you might only need 100 sales to get that same $30,000. Now, I'm not talking about the actual content value inside here. I'm just saying people perceive the course as more valuable. The actual content inside, you might have an ebook that actually has way more value inside of it, and it's only cost $10. But people are willing to pay much more for a course just because of the medium, the format that it is. So my point is that when you're looking at it, the courses just typically sells for more money. It's the same thing as if you listen to, let's say, audio, let's say music on your headphones from MP3 file or from Apple iTunes. When you purchase that song, it may only cost you $1 for the song. But the minute you go to a concert, the medium, the format, it's just more expensive. And the same thing here. You might have the same exact knowledge and information. The medium of the course is just more pricey. So now begs the question of which one is more profitable? Well, if they're both at the same point, it really comes down to what do you have more of? If you have a ton of traffic and you can get a ton more sales by offering a lower tier product, depending on your audience, because they're willing to spend less, they don't want to spend the $300, then in that case, if you've got the traffic, an ebook might actually be more profitable because what's going to happen is, let's say these numbers were closer in terms of sales. Like let's say you only needed 1,000 sales or you had 1,000 sales on the ebook versus the course sales, maybe 10 or 20 of them. So as those numbers start getting a little bit more closer and closer, it's hard to see which one will win out. So when you look at these numbers more spread out, you'll see that, okay, well, if I have a ton of traffic, that ebook could actually be very valuable. Now, on the other hand, if you have a ton of traffic and you sell more courses, you could be even more profitable. But if your audience likes lower tier products, are they kind of lower priced items? If that's the case, they might be that the ebook is more profitable. On the other hand, if you're dealing with people that actually have some capital, some money, some financial means, then in this case, maybe the course is kind of more profitable. And that's just simply because you're capturing maybe a smaller segment of the market and so on. And this is what happens kind of for me in the investment space is that the people I typically deal with, at least the ones that I attract, are usually ones who are interested in investing. They already have capital, they already have the cash flow, and they're willing to spend a little bit more to get a higher quality product. They don't all have the time to just read books. They want to get in and get kind of into it, or they deal in coaching one-on-one and even mentoring programs. If I'm dealing with like other things, then in that case, the ebook might be much more worthwhile. Let's say you're dealing with like a YouTube channel that just has a ton of traffic on, let's say, DIY stuff, which is like, do it yourself. And if you do it yourself, then you're not trying to spend actual money, but you might also still sell some kind of product like an ebook, like 101 DIY projects that you could do around the house. Well, those people since they're not really looking to spend a lot of money, they might be interested in spending some money. That's where the ebook could be more friendly, because why would you spend $300 if you're trying to do it yourself, right? So in our case there, that's where that ebook could be more handy, because now I've got a huge traffic website or YouTube or some sort of medium, and that's where I could pick up a lot of people from a smaller priced product, because the audience is not looking to spend a lot of money on an expensive product, since they're already looking to save money. So evaluating your traffic and your audience and what they're trying to buy, purchase, their needs, this is kind of what you'll see is more profitable in your area or industry. If you have people that have money to spend, then a higher priced product, the more that you can create or drive the value of that product, the better you'll be, actually. So if you can, take that ebook and change it from $10 and go to a $13 ebook, all of a sudden your checkout cart becomes more valuable. And if that checkout value is higher, you'll just make more money. And the same thing here is if I've got a $300 product and I can sell a lot of them, obviously you're going to make more money. The problem is sometimes the product is just too much. Let's say you've got a $800 course. Now you're starting to get over there's like a little hump, right? So for a little while, people are okay with buying it at your price, and then again, they might be okay with buying it. But then as you get over that hump, it's like, oh, there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be buying it. So you have to be a little bit more careful with the pricing of that product where your audience is at personally. So I hope this helps, gives you some idea as far as profitability goes, because it's not just necessarily about, hey, ebooks or courses. Obviously, courses are typically perceived as higher value, so you can usually charge more. Some people $40 a course, depending on the niche or industry. Other people $300 or $500 a course. So it really just comes down to what you're offering. And if you can get just as many sales as you would with an ebook, that's great. But if your audience is not interested in ebooks, or it's not interested in, you don't have the traffic behind it, then obviously, selling a higher priced product might work out well, because you only need to sell one or two of them. Whereas the other way, if you're selling an ebook, you might need to sell like 200 just to make up that same difference, depending on the cost of that ebook. So anyway, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to grab some freebies off my website by clicking the link here, and I will see you in the next episode.